The difference between the men we are today and the men we deserve to become could be a matter of a few simple habits. I'm sure we've all encountered people whom we think, wow, that guy is really on a different level. Perhaps it was something about his appearance, the way he carried himself, his achievements, or perhaps a combination of all. But today, I've got 9 elite level habits that I believe every gentleman should master. And it's going to help you level up not only your communication skills, but also your appearance, your discipline, your self-belief, and much more. Hello, my name is James, and I am on a mission to create a generation of gentlemen. The first elite level habit I'd like to share with you is to master the poker face. Poker face refers to a neutral facial expression that does not give away your emotions or your intentions. Now, today, as men, we're often encouraged to share our emotions and to be more vulnerable. And I'm not saying that that is always a bad idea. However, we want to be in control of when we share our emotions. We don't want our feelings spilling out of us, our thoughts spilling out and being revealed on our face, when instead we want to keep our cards close to our chest. This is incredibly important in the workplace, in negotiations, and in business. And I know that many of you men watching today are interested in those domains or currently successful in those domains. So your ability to maintain a neutral expression could be the difference between you getting the deal that you deserve and you getting taken advantage of. The second elite level habit is to choose your fragrance like a weapon. Many men today enjoy fragrance, but there's a difference between enjoying a nice cologne and truly understanding how to use fragrance, what the effect will be. Just because a fragrance smells great to you, it doesn't mean it's appropriate for all different situations. A fragrance that is seductive and intoxicating could be great to wear on a date, but it could be a terrible mistake to wear during a job interview, or it could be simply obnoxious to wear at the gym. For that reason, you want to have a rotation of at least 2 to 4 fragrances, each one having a different mood and a different time of day. To give you an example, here are 2 fragrances from today's video sponsor Casual Massy that I've been wearing for well over a year. We have Jockey Club. This is a fresh, confident daytime fragrance. Great for a business meeting, great for a lunch. And then we have LX48. This one is much more appropriate for the evening. It has tobacco, it has lavender. This is a great date night fragrance. But there is more to fragrance than simply an eau de parfum or a cologne. You also have to think about the fragrances you use when you are cleaning yourself with your soap or your shower gel. One thing I love about Casual Massy is that you can combine or perhaps blend a fragranced soap with your eau de parfum. They also have great fragranced shaving creams, and an absolute non-negotiable habit for me every single morning is to shave, lathering up with that badger hair brush, shaving with my double-edged razor, and of course a shave cream from Casual Massy. So from soap to fragrances to shave creams, Casual Massy is a fantastic brand for any gentleman looking to improve his grooming and the way he smells. So we've got a special discount for you that I want you to take advantage of. It's code GENTLEMANS10 using the link down in the description, and you can use that to get 10% off anything at casualmassy.com. We've all encountered men who have incredibly powerful body language. They are poised, they are graceful, they are confident. A simple way to become more like that is to simply slow down. Today, as men, we are so often in a hurry, we are distracted, we are trying to get everything done as quickly as possible. But what that does is highly reduce our aura. What we instead want to do is slow down. Take a moment before sharing your thoughts. Move more deliberately and slowly, and stay more grounded and present in our breath. Not only will this help you communicate and move in a way that's more respected, but it will also help you feel more peaceful and as a result make better decisions. Men today are living in a very high cortisol, very high stress state. That's not the way that an elite level man operates. Since the dawn of time, men have used clothing as a way to denote power. Look back at the pharaohs of ancient Egypt, the gangsters of Chicago's 1920s, or the prime ministers and rulers of today. However, you will notice that over the last decade or so, many men's standards have significantly slipped, and even powerful CEOs and even world leaders are beginning to dress more casually. But if you want to be on the elite level as a gentleman, this is not a trap that you can fall for. A man who wants to lead must present himself as a leader. For many men, this will mean embracing a more tailored wardrobe. Suits, jackets, trousers, shirting, but it can also mean more casual pieces. As long as you are intentional, as long as you are making a deliberate statement with your clothing, it's up to you to find your personal style. But I have to say, there is nothing like a suit to give a man confidence. It builds up your shoulders, it slims down your waist, and even something like this tie that I'm wearing today, it still suggests, even in today's world, a certain level of respectability, a certain level of status. And that's why I think more men should embrace a more classic way of dressing. By the way, if you do like the tie that I'm wearing here, this one is our brand new Gentleman's Collective tie, and you'll be able to order this using the link in the description. Have you ever been asked a question that you don't particularly want to answer? Maybe they're asking for information that you don't want to give away, or perhaps you're on a date and you want to maintain that mystery and still be flirtatious. Well, the best thing to do in that situation is simply to answer their question with another question. Put it back on them. That way, you will get to the bottom of why they really asked that question, and you might move the conversation forward into a more productive area. People like to make assumptions. People like to think they know us very well, that they can read us. When you flip the script and unexpectedly turn it back on them, it certainly changes the balance of power. And that can be incredibly useful in business. It can also be incredibly fun in dating. Whether we know it or not, we are all using our eyes. We're either making eye contact with somebody or we are not. But our choice to make eye contact, how intensely we hold it, for how long we hold it, that sends a powerful message. Unfortunately, most men are not aware of how they are using their eye contact, and they could therefore be sending completely the wrong message. An elite level habit is to begin using eye contact under your command. Choose when to hold that gaze, choose when to break it. Choose when to use the technique known as epoxy eyes. This is when you maintain eye contact with somebody who isn't speaking because you wish to form a deeper connection and influence with them. Becoming good at eye contact is simply a matter of awareness. I have to admit, I probably spent the first 23 or 24 years of my life being terrible at eye contact and seldom looking anybody in the eye. Now it's something that I feel like I have a really strong hold of, and therefore I can use to form a deeper connection and to show that intensity, or to diffuse it by looking more away. You may notice that when I talk and when many speakers talk, they will use their hands to gesticulate. And as an orator, this is actually a very good technique. It makes what you say more engaging. It encourages people to keep their focus on you. It allows you to actually articulate your words to another level. However, when just sitting still or when being the listener, as a man, you want to keep your hands more still. Fidgeting and any habits like nail biting can look incredibly immature. They might also suggest that you are somewhat uncomfortable, that you are nervous, and in almost any scenario in life, that's not a message that we want to send. This is simply another habit that you might have been subconsciously doing for many, many years. But if you have noticed that you tend to fidget, you tend to bite your nails, play with your hands in some kind of way, you can always just adopt a more neutral posture with your fingers interlocked and your thumbs resting together. Place your hands on your lap, and then you can give, as a listener, non-verbal signs of feedback with your head, such as nodding, or some slight and I see, verbal cues to show that you are still engaged. That does not suggest that you are uncomfortable, that you are distracted at all. It instead just shows that you are present with the other person. The word no is something that strikes fear into the hearts of many men. Not only hearing the word no and being rejected, but also saying the word no and setting boundaries. An elite level man never fears the no. He is not afraid of rejection. He understands that getting the occasional no, perhaps a frequent no, is simply a sign that he is pushing himself hard enough. But he's also not afraid to tell other people no. He doesn't take on projects that he cannot fully commit himself to. He does not offer his time to people that do not deserve it. And I know that many men today suffer from this people-pleasing nature, where they feel the need to say yes to everything and anybody that comes along. If you understand your value as a man, if you have a strong sense of purpose and you care about your time, you are inevitably going to say no to many things. And you cannot be afraid of hurting people's feelings. Often that fear, worrying about saying no to other people, that fear is simply in our own minds and they won't actually be offended. But the elite level habit is to never fear the no, both hearing it and giving it. And the final elite level habit that every gentleman should understand is that as men, we ought not to compete, we ought to instead concentrate on domination. Now, exactly what do I mean by that? Yes, life to an extent is a competition, but if we are always comparing ourselves to others, we do not allow ourselves the expression to truly thrive as individuals. Take, for example, my journey on YouTube, and we're coming up to nearly 3 years on that journey. And just for a moment, I have to say, I'm incredibly grateful to all of you that have been around, whether it's been for the whole 3 years, for a year, or even this is your first video. It's been the journey of a lifetime. But what was really important to me throughout that journey is that I never competed with any other YouTuber, any other content creator. I simply set out to carve my own space and to, quite frankly, dominate that space as best as I can. And even along the way, I've definitely noticed channels come up that are somewhat imitators, but I don't concern myself with them, and I'm proud to say that within this niche of gentlemanliness and classic masculinity, there are some originators like Gentleman's Gazette, Real Men, Real Style, whom I have a great deal of respect for, but I don't think anybody has really come close to what we're doing over the last couple of years. And I believe that this is because I have, almost with blinkers on, just looked straight ahead at what I want to do, what appeals to me, what appeals to my audience, rather than being concerned about competitors, whether they are new competitors or old competitors. I'm actually friends with pretty much all of those content creators, and we don't see it as a competition. We see it as we are all thriving, we're all doing our own thing. And yes, there is some overlap, but you know what? If somebody takes an interest in what somebody else is doing, they're more likely to come and watch what I'm doing. And that's probably true in your niche also. So don't get distracted by always looking to see what somebody in the next lane is doing. Focus on your own journey. Gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this video on the 9 elite level habits that every gentleman must master. Couple of things before you go. If you do want to get your hands on one of the brand new Gentleman's Collective ties, these are made in Italy of fine Italian silk, currently available using one of the links down in the description. Of course, we also have our members club. We have over 150 members now all over the world and some very exciting events coming up, including our new monthly online networking call, which our members are really enjoying. And then, of course, we also have our sponsor Casual Massy, fragrances, shave creams, soaps, much, much more, all available at 10% off for you as a viewer of the Gentleman's Collective. So that will be the top link. Use that code gentlemans10 at casualmassey.com. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.